I remember following you after Sports Illustrated, and I kept up with you for a minute because I really enjoyed seeing your career flourish. And you spoke a lot about sisterhood, like especially when it came to other girls in STEM and other models that you were working with. And I'm questioning where your sisterhood lies now.
So I've got some updates on the Blockout Celebrity Influencer 2024, and these are some pretty big updates. These are some updates regarding certain influencers in general, such as Hailey Bailey and Kylie Jenner.
Harper's Bazaar, be so for real right now.
There's some brands out there as well who have very much outed themselves in where they stand in a humanitarian essence. I've been really quite passionate about this, and I said that I would do some updates on the Blockout 2024 movement and why it's so important. Like, I've seen some people bring up Celebrity Blockout 2024 and they're not really saying why. They're not really saying why people are doing this, but it's such an important cause and it's definitely working. Very end, as always, I'm going to be doing some honorary mentions and ways that you can help out, and not only Palestine. I've come across a few creators who are speaking solely on the Congo, are really very knowledgeable in that area and are teaching people about exactly what is going on. I want to do some honorary mentions at the end, especially this woman called Erin, who I've been following her actually for quite a long time, and what she's done with the Pasta Hat / olive tree branch situation with all the families is just nothing short of amazing.
You no longer have to wait on us. Assignments will still be open so we can make sure every family has a decent amount of people, and for some people that don't see this video and don't know, but please take the initiative yourself and go pick a family.
And it's really showing me and everyone else just how much people can come together. And I'm not talking about influencers and celebrities, I'm talking about the everyday people who are donating specifically to families to get them out of there. And I'm talking about Palestine right now, to get them out of Rafah and to be able to help them. I'm talking hundreds of thousands. You don't see the celebrities and the businesses, the brands, the influencers, you don't see a lot of them directing people to these causes. So please go stay to the end, because like I say, if you want to get involved in that, I'll leave some links because it's nothing short of amazing. If you didn't see my last video on this topic, definitely go and watch it. All proceeds from that video are going to be donated to help the civilians in Palestine out. That was a bit of a mouthful to say. I may even be going via a help a family route out with the Pasta Hat. I haven't yet decided. Regardless, that video is still earning money. It's just over £100 right now. So yeah, so definitely go watch that video if you want to find out what the hell is this Block 2024 thing doing. The briefest of synopsis, as I know that this is a very important cause to be able to be talking about. People need to actually understand, but I don't just want to be saying word for word what I said in my last video. So like I say, definitely go and watch that. The world isn't shit. Okay, if it's not just across the world where we have people like in horrific situations, that's not the only thing, okay? Closer to home, no one's got any money. People are having to choose between heat and food. You know, no one can afford anything right now. And what didn't really help the situation is that the Met Gala, Hunger Games, the Capitol came out, and that then happened, and people at this point were rioting outside. We had colleges and universities over here. You know, we had colleges in America who were literally camping outside, risking their education in protest for what is happening in Palestine right now. People were pretty annoyed looking at these celebrities going into the Hunger Games dressed up in their gowns, and the icing on top of the cake was the fact that Hailey Bailey, who is this person right here, decided to stand outside and say, "Let them eat cake," coined by Marie Antoinette. There's no historical backing that she ever said this. Regardless, it is what the time represented during the French Revolution. The fact that no one had any food. Elites were basically going, well, why can't they just eat cake if they're starving? About what the time represented. Regardless, she said it. People got angry. Thus, the celebrity boycott started.
Let them eat cake.
The fact that the Met Gala is happening at all today when Israel is beginning their invasion of Rafah, which if you didn't know is where over 1 million Palestinians have been displaced to, because Israel forced them to go there for safety, and now they're threatening Rafah as well. The fact that the Met Gala is happening today when that is also happening, the world is crazy in itself, but I wanted to talk about this video in particular. This woman using the "let them eat cake" sound is probably the most ignorant and apathetic thing I've seen on the internet in a long time.
You may be asking, what can these celebrities do? What can these influencers do? It's really quite simple. If they're not willing to speak out about the atrocities of the world, bearing in mind them as entertainers rely on us to fund their lifestyle, to click on their stuff, to watch them. If they're not making a point about anything, then they gotta go. And that has basically been the thing. So you can say, well, maybe they don't want to speak out about what is happening in Palestine, about what is happening in Sudan, about what is happening in Ukraine, about what is happening in India, about the cost of living. Maybe they just don't want to speak out. Well, then I don't need to follow them then, because that's not like, I don't need that. I need people that are actually going to use their power for good. Someone with a, 20 million follower base has the potential to really make change in the world. The higher ups are more likely to listen. They're able to influence. The key is in the name, influence. So why can't you influence for good? By blocking them, you're getting rid of all of the monetary gain. So you never see them ever. They never appear on your feed. That doesn't just mean celebrities and influencers. You can do it to brands as well. Harper's Bazaar was one that I literally just got rid of yesterday. So you can do it to brands so that they can't claw their way back in.
I don't think you have to be the smartest person in the fucking room. You don't have to give a fucking presentation about, nobody expects you to be a fucking textbook historian, whatever the fuck. No one here expects you to give a fucking speech. You can simply just amplify people's voices. Be like, hey, just donate here. Or like this person really needs our help. Like, we should help them out. It's so funny to me because people are like, oh, I'm not like an activist, so I can't really talk about this. Babe, who expects you to be an activist? Just be a decent human being. You just need to feel emotions to talk about this, because let's say that was your family getting fucking bombed. Like, do you think you would like that? You wouldn't, right? So what makes you think that those people who are getting bombed would like that? So just talk about it.
So now we're up to speed. So people have been going around. Kim Kardashian's lost 3 million in the past couple of days. Loads of it. Taylor Swift, big one, she's lost loads. All the Kardashians lost. All of that was really important for me to explain, by the way, to make my point right now, so it doesn't seem like I am just targeting Hailey, because I'm not. But I'm using her as a shining example. So she came on and she did an apology where she was basically saying, I didn't want to speak about it because I wasn't educated. I'm a normal person. I wasn't even invited to the Met Gala. I'm just a normal person, An ex-colleague who did Sport Illustrated, I think, because Hailey was a model.
I really feel compelled to speak on this Hailey Bailey situation. Hailey and I worked together a few years ago in the Sports Illustrated Swim Search. We made it to the top 5, and we were competing to be Rookie of the Year in the following issue. All 5 of us had an identifying characteristic. So I was the plus size model and Hailey was the nerd. And I remember her specifically because I thought it was really impressive. She was a STEM major. I think she graduated summa cum laude from her university. And she really honed in on the fact that, beauty and brains, you can be both. So all that to say, I know she's not dumb. And now she has over 20 million followers across all her social media platforms, and she posts every single day. She said in her apology video that she does everything herself. She does not have a team editing her videos for her. She finds the trending audios. She finds the reaction videos. She edits everything herself. Her boyfriend just films for her. So I know with all that, she has to have an acute affinity for social awareness, especially when it comes to social media. Clearly, she's chronically online like the rest of us. I find it very hard to believe that over the last 7 months, you haven't seen a single video about Palestine and not wanted to look into it further. When I see that a celebrity or influencer isn't speaking out about Palestine, I get really curious and I go back and see what they were doing summer of 2020. Obviously, that's when the BLM protests were in heavy effect. And she made 2 posts. One was about the looting and rioting that was happening in her home state of Minnesota, and the other was a unity kumbaya post. But there were 2 of her comments in particular that stood out to me. Read both of the comments yourselves, but the things that stood out to me were, I've actually analyzed the data and read the journals. I vote by statistical analysis, and I vote every year at every level. So before you were reading the data, you were reading the journals, you vote by statistical analysis. I don't see how you said all of that and you still are so willfully ignorant about what's happening in the political landscape. So here's some data for you. Over 30,000 Palestinians have been killed so far. 17,000 of those deaths have been professionally recorded. The remaining 13,000 have been recorded by family members and journalists on the ground. And 70% of the people killed have been women and children. You know, I remember following you after Sports Illustrated, and I kept up with you for a minute because I really enjoyed seeing your career flourish. And you spoke a lot about sisterhood, like especially when it came to other girls in STEM and other models that you were working with. And I'm questioning where your sisterhood lies now, because there are women in Gaza who have lost their lives. There are women in Gaza who have lost their children. They have nothing to eat. They do not have sanitary materials. I saw a post from a Palestinian woman who was asking the audience if she could cut off her hand to feed her children because they hadn't eaten in several days. I don't understand how you can see visuals and stories like that and just not have a visceral reaction to it. And I know as influencers, we're all worried about the bag at the end of the day. I get it. I get nervous talking about it too because I know it affects engagement. I know it affects my income. But on a basic human level, we have a certain moral obligation to one another. And that supersedes any amount of money that I can make. I know you're not hurting. You were living in that $17,000 a month apartment before you really popped off. And you have a lot of fans who are being purposely dense and missing the point. Yes, the Marie Antoinette sound was incredibly tone deaf, but the overarching reason that people are coming for you is because of your silence. I know you're not a politician and it's not your job to speak on political issues, but you are a mega influencer. It's in the name, you have the power to influence. And what is the point of having such a large platform if you are the only one who benefits from it? Yes, you provide humor to people, but it's really getting to the point that ain't shit funny no more, you know? And I'm not saying that you can't go on and continue making videos, you can, but it's also important to raise awareness. There are so many of your fans who think this boycott celebrity stuff is dumb and that we should just focus on politicians. Well, unlike you guys, we can multitask, we can do both, and our politicians aren't listening to us. So we have to get the word out there some kind of way. Hopefully you end up on the right side of history with us.
Hayley was a very educated person. My point being is that she came on and she played the whole I'm just not educated on this, trying to play this almost like ditzy character like she does in her skits. Has been pushed to talk about things before, and influencers will use this I'm just not educated on this matter, I'm not the person to talk about it, when you have that capability to. She's not the only one who's done this. A lot of them say this. They have the capability to do a few hours worth of research on this matter. They just don't think it's important enough. And can they think it's not important enough? Yeah. Do I think that's a bad trait? Yeah. But then I just get rid of you because I don't want that. Some people think the opposite and they go, well, they don't have to be informed. They just have to entertain us. You can think that. You can think that all day long. I want someone to be able to entertain me whilst also standing up for something that I also believe in and using their influence for that power of good. You can be both things. It is very possible. You don't just have to be this like brainless, I don't have any thoughts and feelings about the rest of the world person. You can be both. You don't have to talk about humanitarian issues all the time, political issues all the time. No, you don't. But I don't want to give money to somebody and I don't want to give attention to somebody who's not willing to stand up for something that I believe in and something that will benefit the world. This is why I'm bringing up her again, because it's very important. A lot of these influencers play dumb. They're not dumb. They're really not dumb. The really harsh thing about Block 2024 is not just about what's happening in Palestine, like I've reiterated, it's about what's happening through quite a lot of the world. And also what's happening closer to home with cost of living. So the fact that she doesn't seem to know enough about any of that is very highly concerning.
My jeweler told me 284 children died trying to mine these earrings. Incredible.
What is brilliant about that? What is brilliant about kids in Congo mining for resources and minerals for people who don't even care about them? For people who are making jokes about them dying. And anyone who makes excuses saying, oh, she's just joking, stop taking it so seriously, ha ha ha. about kids dying.
Do you want to talk about this one? So Kylie Jenner, back in 2020, she did a Mother's Day article with Harper's Bazaar. I think it was Harper's Bazaar US. Whoever the hell is in charge of Harper's Bazaar social media hates Kylie Jenner and wants to also see Harper's Bazaar blocked, because they decided to reuse this Eddie Antoinette themed getup. And I'm pretty sure the caption said, "Let them eat cake." They literally posted this 2 days ago. So this is right in the midst of what is going on. And like I just mentioned with the Hailey Bailey thing and how she's been blocked over saying this, they just wanted to drop their company right in it.
Block party invite goes to Harper's Bazaar USA. A few hours ago on their Instagram, they posted this picture for their Mother's Day. Mind you, this is an old picture of Kylie and her baby used from the year 2020. And they said, "Happy Mother's Day. Today we're celebrating all the maternal figures out there who make our lives that much sweeter. How are you spending your day with your loved ones?" I don't know if you realize this, but the theme is Marie Antoinette and "Let them eat cake." Again. Of course, if you go to their Instagram, the photo is no longer there as it was taken down almost 2 hours after it was posted. But just like everything on the internet, it's never really gone. So you guys know what to do. I'm not telling you to do anything, but you know what to do. And while we're at it, even though today is a beautiful day to celebrate all the amazing mothers in the world, please keep the mothers who are struggling in every single way all over the world, in Palestine, in Sudan, in Congo, all over the world.
Harper's Bazaar went immediately on my block thing because companies like this do not do things willy-nilly. They do things thinking stuff out. Pretty sure it's like a multi-billion-dollar company. They're not just going to randomly post something like that. Someone is going to know. So either they don't like working for Harper's Bazaar, or they don't like Kylie Jenner, or they just wanted to get fired, or all three. Now, I want to do honorary mentions. Okay, so Erin Hattemer, I'm fairly sure it's Hattemer. Hattemer, she is amazing. I remember I started following her over Christmas. So Erin has been quite forthcoming with how she's very much pro-Palestine and she wants to be able to help the civilians out. She wants to be able to help get aid. Started getting very overwhelmed, and she was having families contact her and she was crying herself to sleep because she couldn't help everyone. She didn't have enough time, she didn't have enough resources. So then she started something called Pass the Hat, where if you go onto her TikTok, you'll be able to see the things you can donate to if you message her, or if you actually sign up to be a Pass the Hat person, you can actually be assigned a family. So she is like, she's on it. She's like a miracle worker. She is on it, and she's also got involved loads of other creators as well. Honestly, just go check her out on TikTok, because what she's done, and as a result, what other people have done as well, they've raised so much money just from the everyday people like you and me and everyone else, raising so much money, and it's just amazing to see.
Hello, I wanted to give some important updates for Pass the Hat. I first started Pass the Hat because I had families reaching out and I could assign those specific families with specific people that signed up. But now that so many people know about Pass the Hat and Operation Olive Branch, you don't need to depend on getting assigned. You can go to Operation Olive Branch, which again is at the top of my link tree, and look through the master list and find a family and support them. You no longer have to wait on us. Assignments will still be open so we can make sure every family has a decent amount of people, and for some people that don't see this video and don't know, but please take the initiative yourself and go pick a family. 1, see a video that says Pass the Hat. Ooh, now you got the bug. 2, you go to Operation Olive Branch and pick your own family to support. 3, you make videos about them. You put their GoFundMe in your link tree, whatever it takes to reach their goal. And 4, you tag 3 to 4 friends, creators, family, whoever, and pass the hat forward so they can do it too. This way you don't have to wait. This way the word gets out faster. This way more and more families can be assigned. There are over 12,000 families waiting. The faster we can get people to their goals, the more and more people we can help.
Absolutely phenomenal what people will do when they actually put their minds to it, which is a big reasoning as to why, people are sick and tired of these influencers. who can't even be bothered to just make a post or a short video. Doesn't really take a lot. To direct people or to sponsor a family themselves. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? The amount of money that's been raised to help is mostly from everyday people. It's not, a lot of it is nothing to do with these big people who have the reach, but they just can't be bothered. So once again, if you can't be bothered, I can't be bothered to support your lifestyle, so you're blocked. Likewise, there's this creator here who is amazing, and she has been here and she has been educating people about the situation and what is going on. Congo, Sudan, has a load of links as well as to how you can help.
I volunteer to teach people about Congo. However, I need every single one of you to help me get this video to everyone. So, what is the main issue in Congo? Congo has the world's largest mineral reserves. Congo also has the world's largest cobalt reserve. Cobalt is a very valuable mineral, but Congo does not have the capacity to protect itself from vulture capitalists. So what happens, it is targeted by some of the worst companies and human beings possible.
I'm never going to judge anyone for not knowing a lot about a subject. I feel that as long as you're learning and you're realizing what companies, what brands, what influencers, what's like who you're wanting to align yourself with, it opens the doors to a whole wealth of knowledge. I really feel like in this situation, we are power among the masses. There's a hell of a lot of people who are willing to help and support. You've got so much more power in your own choices than you think you do. And something that, you know, social media in the past week has really taught me is that there are a hell of a lot of people out there that really do care. It's made me restore a little bit more faith in humanity about the way that people are able to come together and help those in need, and it just makes me happy.
Yesterday I found out about a thing called Operation Olive Branch.
For every influencer saying, I'm just one person, what can I do? This is 100% because of Erin Hadamer. She has been contacting influencers with big followings and now is calling out people who are not speaking about what's happening in Palestine. And her Pass the Hat initiative, matching people with families through Operation Olive Branch, has raised so much money to help get families out of Gaza. And she's just one person. She's a comedian. This is not what she does. She is not some political organizer or anything like that. But she has done so much just by using the following she has and calling people out. So hats off to you, Erin.
Pretty much all I wanted to say. Go and check all these people out in the description box. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.
That you didn't exist. You want the world to stand up, and the students finally did. Say free, free.